Good. Yes. Okay, I'll go ahead and get started. My name is Regina Cross, if I haven't met you before, and I'm the director of the Spartan Pathways Travel Program. And I'm glad you're able to join us today for this pre-departure meeting for the Ramblas and Rivieras cruise. I just a couple of housekeeping before, if you could please stay muted. These computer microphones pick up sounds really easily. So and then questions if you like, you can add those in the chat during the presentation, and we'll address them once Emily is finished with the presentation. And then you can also at that time ask questions as well. We do have our Bright Crowd online directory, and I know quite a few of you have joined that. And if you haven't, please let me know. And I'd be happy to send you an invitation to join. It's a great way for you to learn about your fellow travelers. And also too, there'll be a photo album there where you can upload photos during the trip. And so your host, she can tell you a little bit more about that. This meeting is being recorded, and so if there's something that you've forgotten, I will be sending out a link to the video, and so that you're able to review it if you need to. And then at the end, we'll do introductions. And again, this is another way for you to get to know your fellow travelers a little bit. So next, I want to introduce Deanna Gast. She is your host for this trip, and she just recently retired. And she was a senior director of gift planning at Michigan State University Advancement. So Deanna, you want to say a few words?
Sure. Thanks, Regina. I'm looking forward to meeting all of you in person. This is going to be exciting. I did just retire from Michigan State after 18 years, 18 wonderful years at Michigan. And this is my maybe this is my fourth trip now on Spartan Pathways, and all of them have been fast. And I know someone that already been on other trips. You guys are going to have a great time. It's just so well organized, and I'll be there if there's something that you have questions about. Happy to help, like Regina said, with the photos. The last one that I went on, everybody loved to deposit our photos in one space, so that when we got home, if you missed something, enjoy somebody else's pictures. I'll be there early. My sister is coming with me, and so we'll get into Barcelona on the 5th around noon. So if any of you are going to be there early too, please connect with me, because we'll have a couple of days before the ship leaves. I believe you all have my contact information, but I'm going to give you my cell phone number too right now. So it's 517-256-3881. And just let me know if you get there early. It'd be great to connect before we get on the ship.
All right. Thank you, Deanna. Next, I'd like to introduce Emily Dean. She is a client service manager for GoNext, and I've worked with her for a number of years now, and she's fantastic. And go ahead and take it away, Emily.
Perfect. Thanks, Regina, and welcome everybody. Today we're going to talk about your cruise. I'm going to talk a little bit about the beginning, middle, and end, and I'm going to go over some documents that you guys received. Most of everything that I'm going to talk about is in some form of communication we sent out. There's a lot, so I'm going to, talk about some of the key things to take note of. These final documents were emailed out to you all from GoNext on August 17th. They would have said final documents with your name and then the name of the cruise. So if you did not receive your final documents, please reach out to us and let us know. Something might be holding it up, like if you didn't fill out your guest registration form, or if you added a shore excursion and didn't pay for it. There could be a couple different reasons. So if you don't think you have this, first check your junk and your spam, and then reach out to us and we can go ahead and forward them out to you if you haven't received them. In the email, there could be up to probably 4 attachments, depending on what you guys are all doing. The first one is the final cruise summary for your Oceania information. So anything that has to do with Oceania is going to be on this. It's going to have your cabin, your embarkation port. It has the addresses for the port in case you guys are coming in on your own and need to make your way to the ship. It has your amenities for the sailing. If you booked your flights with Oceania, cruise itinerary, the shore excursions that you've purchased, And then your dining reservations are all listed on here. So it's a good piece of paper. If you have a printer, print it out. If not, take a screenshot of it and bring it with you so you have the information. The next item in here would be the general information page. The general information has, is your passport valid up to 6 months after you guys disembark the ship? It has talks about luggage and transfers, which I will also go over with in a little bit here. And then on the last page, it talks about your program manager. Your program manager for this trip is Zora. She's been with GoNext for a very long time, done a lot of trips. She's great. So she is at your full disposal for anything you need. On the first page is a very important phone number. So it's highlighted in red and it's the emergency phone number. This is for the day of travel when you guys are going over. If you have any flight delays or if you have a question about your transfer or flight changes or anything that happens that you think we need to know about, it's the 612-802-5560. This is a cell phone number, so if we don't pick up right away, feel free to leave us a message and we'll call you back. If you are already working with Delta and they're like, hey, you're on a new flight, you just text us and you can say, hi, my name is John Smith. I am now on Delta 123, arriving at 8:30 a.m. So you can always text us your new flight information. But like I said, if you have any changes and you need help with your flights, if Oceana booked them, go ahead and give us a call and we will help you. For people ask me a lot about packing for your cruise. I did look at the weather. The weather looks wonderful. Obviously, keep checking as we get a little closer, but it could be depending on where you guys are at in country. It's mid 70s to low 80s. There did look like there may be a little rain. Oceana does have large umbrellas in the staterooms. So if you wanted to bring with a smaller compact umbrella, that'd probably be a good idea for you to bring on shore excursions if you guys are doing touring like not on a bus and stuff. So just check the weather before you go. Another thing with packing is if you're bringing 2 suitcases, I always suggest to put a little in each. This way, if one piece of luggage is delayed, you'll have something in the other set of luggage. And if you aren't bringing 2 pieces, maybe just throw something in your carry-on, an extra outfit or an extra pair of shoes, just something that you have if when you get there your luggage were to be delayed. If anybody's luggage is delayed, just so you know, it's very important to file a claim at the airport. So don't leave the airport without filing a claim. It's much harder to locate your luggage without the ticket number from the airport. So once you get that ticket, if you're coming to our pre-cruise, Zora will help you. If you're headed straight to the ship, they will help you. Concierge and Zora can help too, but that ticket will be life-saving to help find delayed luggage. Also for luggage packing, prescription medication, anything that you need, I suggest keeping it in your carry-on. With that being said, they need to be in the original pill bottles. Some people say, well, I have a lot of pills and I don't want to keep them all in the original pill bottles. I'm not saying anybody's ever been stopped, so if you still just put them in a pill bottle or one of the Monday through Friday things, I just suggest printing a list of all the medications that you're on, along with what milligrams or what the strength is. So when you get over there, then you would be able to call the pharmacy. Where you guys are going, there's pharmacies everywhere. So prescription medication, they do suggest original pill bottle. Couple places to check with before you leave, your cell phone provider. Check with them to see if you guys have international coverage. If you do, how do you turn it on? Some phones are different. Some you have to go into Roam. You have to do certain things. So if you call your cell phone provider, they'll be able to walk you through that. And if you don't have an international plan, I'd suggest adding it, even if it's just for this trip. And then I always say add one day at the end, because if you are out exploring a shore on your own and you need to call somebody like an emergency, or even if you're changing planes in an international airport and you need to reach out to somebody, you're going to need cell phone coverage. So you will be able to connect to Wi-Fi and do WhatsApp, but you don't always have Wi-Fi. So it's just best to be able to use your phone if you need to. A couple other places, banks and credit cards. So whatever bank card you might be using or a credit card, just call and let them know that you guys are going to be out of country. Some of them want to know what countries you're going to be in. And on your cruise summary, it lists each country that you're going to be in and on what date. And then I always also extend this to one day just in case you are delayed at all in your flights. So now, once you guys have landed, everybody's going to do the same thing for this next step, no matter what you're doing. You guys are all going to land in Barcelona. You're going to go through passport control, collect your luggage, and then you're going to go through customs. And then once everybody has done this, you guys are going to exit. And depending on what you're doing is depending on what you're going to look for. So if you're coming in on the Go Next pre-cruise, you're going to look for a representative holding a Go Next sign. It's usually just the size of a piece of paper and it's fluorescent in color. So hot pink or yellow or green. So one of those colors and it'll say Go Next on it. If you're coming in on Oceania and you're taking an Oceania transfer, you're going to do the same thing, but you're going to look for somebody holding a white sign and it has a big blue O on it, and they will then bring you on a motor coach. Oceania's transfers are kind of like a hotel shuttle, so they run in intervals. So if you get outside and somebody's not there right away, don't panic. They will be on their way. And if you think you've waited too long for either one of these transfers, call that 1-800 number and just say, hey, this is the Smiths. I'm at the airport. And then we will find out, maybe there's traffic or an accident or something. And we just let them know that you guys have arrived. And then if you guys are on your own for transfers and making your own way somewhere, you'll look for in the airport. There's usually up in the ceiling a sign that'll say ground transfers, and you will then look for a taxi or an Uber, Lyft, whatever you guys are comfortable with taking. I just suggest when you guys are going there to download the apps before you get to the airport. So then if there's two of you, or even if there's not, you can check to see which one is less expensive. One or the other is always less expensive. It's just no rhyme or reason. It just depends on how many drivers, I guess, is probably scheduled at each airport. So now you guys will come to the pier, and everybody, you probably have received an email by now. It is an online check-in for Oceania. They're asking you to verify what time you're arriving. This is just a general idea. So if the time you are arriving isn't available, just select the closest to it. They also ask for a credit card number and upload of your picture. This just speeds up the process when you get to the pier. If you don't, if you can't get it uploaded, you can always try calling our agents and they can help you. And if you still can't do it, or you don't, you're just like, no, that's okay. You can wait till you get to the pier and they'll do everything their pier side. With that being said, people are asking about bag tags. Those are still Oceania. If you've been on Oceania before, they used to send bag tags out like probably a month or more in advance. They're now getting closer to the departure. So anywhere around 21 to 14 days, they might be arriving in the mail. So they're physical luggage tags. So, and if you don't get them for some reason, like if you winter somewhere else and we got a different address, they're not needed. You can get them pier side. Once you check in, they will put luggage tags on your luggage. So if you don't receive them before you leave, it's nothing to worry about. The porters are going to take your luggage and anything that you want to keep with you. So depending on what time you guys arrive, if you arrive early, cabins might not quite be ready. So feel free to bring a book if you want to sit in an area and read on a deck. If you need to take prescription medication with your lunch, go ahead and keep that with you and send the rest of your luggage on your way. Terrace Cafe on deck 12 will be open for lunch, so feel free to explore the ship, check everything out, and once your cabins are ready, they'll make an announcement. When you're checking in with Oceania, they're going to issue you a world card. The world card, it does a few different things. It gets you on and off the ship, it gets you into your cabin, and it's your credit card for on board. So going to the spa, going to a boutique, ordering a drink, any of those items, you're going to use this card like a credit card. Oceania is cashless, so this card will pay for everything. With that being said, where you guys are going, every country or the countries are euros. So people ask me about taking out currency for where you guys are going. I say it's not 100% needed. I say wait till you get there. Unless you guys are going to the bank and your bank, sometimes banks, euros are popular, so they might have some on hand and you could take out a small amount because sometimes you, depending on where you're going, you might need to give some change to use a restroom or if you wanted to tip somebody or if there's a small mom and pop place, food or trinkets, you might need cash for that. But I would say 95% of the world takes credit cards. So I wouldn't be too concerned about exchanging for euros. And when you get there, if you're like, man, I wish I would have exchanged some money, then you can do it on board. They do charge a 5% fee. or you can do it at a local ATM, which Zora can help you find. And at a local ATM, you're just going to have to know your PIN number. So whether it's your credit card or your debit card, just make sure you know your PIN number and you put it in, tell them how much money you want, and it'll give you your local currency there. So that is also something you can do. So if you're on the pre-cruise, you will have met Zora there. You're going to get your name badge and lanyards at the pre-cruise. And when you get on board, if you have time, stop by and see Zora. She's on deck 5. She will have your name badges and lanyards there. And if you don't have time to stop by, she will bring them to the Go Next reception, which is that night. So she's on deck 5. She might be out doing deliveries. So if she is gone, she'll have a note up on her desk, be right back. So feel free to, like I said, stop by. Inside of Oceana's cabins for voltage, if you guys are coming in early or staying late, you're going to need some sort of adapter depending on what you're bringing. So on Amazon, you can usually get a universal one for about $20. So if you're only going on the cruise, nothing is needed. Inside the cabins is two 110 volts, two 220s, and a USB-C. They also have hair dryers in the rooms, robes, and slippers. And then they also have water bottles. So if anybody's been on a cruise before, Oceana used to hand out plastic water bottles as you guys got off the ship. They're now asking for you to, these water bottles are yours to keep. In the room, they'll have water crafts for you to fill it up. And throughout the ship, they have filling stations. So bring this with you on your shore excursions, and that's your water bottle for the tour. Another thing in your cabin is a TV. The TV is just not a TV. I say definitely turn it on. There's a few things on there I want you to pay attention to. One of them being your invoice. Just if you're using your World Card to pay for things, just make sure that everything on that invoice is yours. It's much easier to look at it every day or every other day, just to, look at it and still instead of waiting till the end. If you wait till the end, the reception desk is the most popular desk on disembarkation night. So definitely try to avoid doing that. So invoices are on their daily activities, the menus for the evening. If anybody's lecturing on board, they'll rerun the lecture, show shore excursions. So a few items on your TV. Another thing in your cabin, this is you'll get a lot of pieces in your cabin, but the currents is the main thing to look at. It is Oceana's newsletter for what's happening the next day. So it'll tell you what the weather is going to be. It gives you a little description of the town. It tells you what time you're going to get into port, what time you can get off the ship, most importantly, what time you need to be back on the ship, along with emergency phone numbers. It also tells you like when high tea is and trivia, if there's karaoke, anything happening on the ship will be on there. The only thing that won't be on there are our Go Next items, which we will hand you a separate sheet to put in your cabin. I always just put it on my vanity and hang it on the mirror. So we will hand it out to you, and I'll go over your events here in a little bit. Oceana is country club casual, and what that means to them is in the specialty dining in the grand dining room, it means no shorts and no flip-flops. In the past, Oceana used to say no jeans. However, their policy is getting a little more lax. However, they have to be like dark jeans. They can't be stonewashed. They can't have holes in them. So if you have a nice pair of dark jeans, they can be black jeans, blue jeans, just a nice pair, they are allowed in specialty dining and the grand dining room. The rest of the ship, so Terrace Cafe, the waves, just going anywhere on the ship, off the ship is comfortable. Whatever you guys want to wear. Definitely for shore excursions, bring some good walking shoes. There's a lot of uneven pavement where you guys are going. Dress in layers. The mornings still might start out cool. People ask me about dressing up. There are no formal nights on Oceana. However, some people do like to dress up, so don't be surprised if people are dressed up. Men ask me all the time, do they need to wear suit coats? No, you do not. But sometimes men do. So it's really whatever you guys are comfortable with. I will tell you that since this is an alumni cruise, there is a lot of color on the cruise. So depending on which schools are on board, you might see those colors. So if you have any school colors, I highly suggest you bring them because everybody likes to show off their colors. So, laundry on board. So, laundry on board the ships is decks 7 through 11. There's 3 machines in each room, so they're included in the cost of your cruise for you to do your own laundry. Soap is included, softener, and then just the use of them. There's no good or bad time to do them. Let me just see what you guys. Sometimes days at sea are busy, so you have one of those, but go ahead and check it out. Just see, if it's busy, come back and check it out at a different time. They do also have laundry service on board for you to pay for in your closet. On a hanger, there'll be a list of what they will do and what the charge is going to be. My only suggestion there is in the beginning of the cruise, things will come back fast. But if you come into like day 3 and you want your black dress ready for tomorrow night, I would just make sure with your cabin steward that what the turnaround time is because more laundry coming in makes longer turnaround times. For restaurants on board this ship, it is Jacques, Polo, Toscana, and Red Ginger. So if you haven't made dining by now, it might be closed. Sometimes it closes 10 to 14 days prior. So if you haven't made dining, you can always do so on board. You can check when the very first day when you get on board, there's usually a maitre d' for the dining you can talk to. Otherwise, in Terrace Cafe, that's the buffet area that you can just go serve yourself. They have really good food. They usually bring in local cuisine from each stop. It's one of my favorite places to just go and grab a quick bite to eat. So they usually have a maitre d' in there also in the mornings. There's 2 entrances, and it's usually on one side of the building. So if you don't see anybody standing up there, go to the other side, and there's usually a maitre d' there that can help you with dining. So with dining, when you get on board, if you meet the Smiths and you're like, I'd really like to combine our dining reservations, it never hurts to ask. They might tell you no for that night because they're busy, but then they might be available the next night. So definitely check with them. There's always room for movement. And with that being said, if you guys need to cancel a reservation, also make sure you're canceling your reservations because that opens it up for other people. And that's how people are able to make moves once you guys are on board. Shore excursion tickets, they're going to be in your cabin, usually on your vanity in a white envelope. They will be for the entire length of your sailing, any shore excursion that you signed up for. So this is where you want to compare your cruise summary that has all your shore excursions to the tickets in the envelope. Just make sure that everything is in there. And then if you were waitlisted for anything, make sure if you cleared something, if now you have 2 events for that day, make sure you stop down to destination services and let them know which one you don't want so they'll cancel it so you're not charged for both. And destination services, the very first day, just so everybody knows, they're very busy. But they work very quick. They're usually really staffed the first day because everybody has questions about shore excursion. So just jump in line and it usually goes pretty fast. Another thing for your shore excursion tickets, if you want to put MSU in the corner, MS, right out Michigan State University, whatever you want to do, this will help you be on, if you're on the same tour as one of the other Michigan State, you guys will be on the same bus. So how shore excursions work is you guys will go into the Allura Lounge in the morning with your ticket for the day. They'll call your ticket and they will say highlights of wherever you guys are going, whatever the tour is. They'll call it up. Then you guys will hand them your ticket. They will then hand you back a bus ticket, and at that time you will either disembark the ship or they'll tell you to take a seat until the tour guide is ready, and then you guys will all get off the ship together. So, in up front is there's going to be 2 desks. We'll have a Go Next desk and an Oceana desk. You'll know which one is the Go Next desk because Zora is going to be working it. Unless she has some kind of emergency, she will be working that desk. And we usually have a Go Next skirt on it. So always go to her to exchange your tickets to be on a Go Next bus. Because even if you're not with Go Next people, you'll be with other alumni. And let me just see here. I did pull a list. Some people are interested to see what other schools are on board. So we have on board with you guys Georgia Tech, Texas A&M, University of Michigan, Ohio State, Wisconsin, Iowa State, UCLA, Texas, Oregon State, Southern California, Mizzou, and NC State. So those are all the other schools on board with you guys. For shore excursions, people ask me a lot about tipping. It's not mandatory, but we like to tip. So suggested tips for shore excursion guides if you're interested. Full day tour, a guide is 5 and a driver's 3. Half day tour, a guide is 3 and a driver's 2. So again, not necessary. Let's see here. So I'm going to go over your events. You would have received this a while ago, so you maybe don't remember. It's just a list of the events. And like I said, Zora will also give you one of these once you get on board. So for the first night, we have a Go Next reception in Horizons Lounge at 5:30. Zora will be your host for that, and she will tell you, what she's there to do. She's your onboard concierge. Even if you're in concierge, she's your own concierge. Like she'll do anything that you need. And if she can't, do it, like she can't make dining changes or shore excursion changes, but she can get you to the right place. So she'll be that night is for her to tell you what she's about, and then you guys to get to know each other because each school will have their own area in the lounge where you guys can sit together and get to know each other. And then the next night is the captain's reception. The captain's reception will be listed in the currents, what time it's at. If you want to see the main show, like who the captain is and the officers and some of the staff, that'll be in the lounge. They will have open bar throughout the ship and canapes also. But if you want to see the show, it's in the lounge. And then on the 7th, we will have a reception for you guys at 5:30 in Horizons Lounge. And then on September 9th, remember I was talking about school colors? This is a really good night to wear school colors because we'll meet at the grand staircase at 6:15 and then hold the flag, and then we will take your guys' picture, and then we will bring you to the grand dining room. And then once the program manager gets home and stuff, Zora will send those pictures to us, and then we get them over to Regina. So those are your events. Like I said, we will hand that out on board. And then on to disembarkation. So for disembarkation, you'll get a letter a few days before you guys disembark. It's going to ask you to verify your flights. So just verify your flights, what you're doing. Some might be going on our post cruise, so just write Go Next post cruise. If you're going out on your own, just tell them what hotel you're staying at. Then go ahead and you'll hand that back to reception, and then you will get a bus ticket for what time you need to be in the lounge the morning of disembarkation. Your luggage will go outside your cabin door the night before, so anything you need, keep with you. So I always just keep my carry-on with me so I can put my pajamas, toothbrush, and stuff in there. You guys will then meet in the lounge. They'll call your ticket number. Could be a blue 7. You guys are all gonna, whoever's on that, you'll disembark the ship. And then you'll go on down into a holding area, and they will have your luggage separated out by your departure time. So look for your flag 7, and then you go to that area of luggage. You have to claim your luggage and pull it out, or just show it to the porters, and they'll help you because we don't know whose luggage is whose or where you're going. So if you don't claim it, it's not going to go anywhere. It'll just stay there. So claim your luggage. We'll help you put it in a taxi. We'll help you bring it to the post cruise if you're going on the post cruise, or whatever you're doing. Oceana will help you bring it wherever it needs to go. And that, I was gonna say, I do see a couple people on our post cruise, so then you guys will just start your post cruise. Zora will be on one of them. We have 2 post cruises operating, and then we'll also have city guides. So if you're on the pre cruise, we have city guides too to help you guys with recommendations if you guys need any when you're there. So that was a lot of information. I'm open for questions. I can go over anything again. Most of the stuff, like I said, is in these documents, but if you guys just want to unmute yourself and ask a question, I don't know that there was anything in the chat. So yeah, I don't see anything in the chat. So just feel free to unmute yourself if you have questions and I can answer them, hopefully.
Ooh, maybe
Everybody's
covered.
great. Well, that'd be good. Every time I do one of these, I learn something new every time. So, and then I just try to add it to my next call.
Yeah, wow. Must have covered everything, Emily. We don't have any questions so
Well,
far.
and if anybody thinks of any questions when we get off the phone, you can always call our agents at 1-800-842-9023, and they can definitely help you figure out anything you need also.
Excellent.
Excuse me, I have a question.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Um, can Oceana help us with boarding passes for travel back to the US? Or do we have to do that at the airport? How does that work?
So 24 hours before your flight, you will go on to your the airline's website. So if anybody has, I would look right now, a lot of airlines, a lot of major airlines, I should say, have an app that you can download on your phone. So I always download the app on my phone and you can check in 24 hours prior. If you need help, Zora could help you. They also have an internet person on board. So the internet person could help you. And they do have printers on board if you wanted to print your boarding pass. But if you don't print your boarding pass, that's fine. You'll have to go to the airport because you're gonna have to check your luggage and they can print you a boarding pass at the airport. So, but you want to go in online and check in. I mean, you can do it at the airport, but I definitely suggest doing it 24 hours in advance to check your seats and just to make sure no flight times have changed or anything.
Yeah, if you have
Yeah.
a couple connections, can they do the
Mhm.
boarding pass for those, or does that happen later?
Nope, it'll
Like
be for
for,
everything. It'll be for
okay,
everything.
because we fly from Rome to Frankfurt, and then Frankfurt to Houston, and then Houston to Phoenix. So we've got, a couple connections there, so they can help with that, the
Yep,
boarding
somebody will be
pass.
able to
Okay.
help you. Yep, either the internet person, Zora's around. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah. Good. Any other questions? Okay. All righty. Well, thank you very much, Emily, for all the
Yeah,
wonderful
thanks.
information. And I think what we'll do now is kind of go around and have everyone introduce themselves and kind of say what your connection is with Michigan State. I mean, if you graduated from Michigan State, kind of what your career was, and then what you're looking forward to on the trip. So I'm going to start with Dave and Chris, since you're already
Okay.
unmuted.
Yeah, I graduated with a degree, a Master of Science degree in 76. Um, it was a degree in clinical laboratory science, which those individuals work in clinical labs. And so once I got that degree, I was working at Sparrow Hospital for when I got my bachelor's degree. So I went to graduate school part time, basically. I worked full time and then went to school at night. And then after that, I took a position at Western Michigan University as director of the MedTech program. I did that for about 8 years, and then I worked for the Upjohn Company. And from that, I've done a variety of other things. So I've had a good experience, with my degree through Michigan State, and enjoyed it. And we enjoyed traveling. We did the one trip that I believe Elizabeth mentioned, the one from Greece to Venice, or yeah,
Yeah,
Venice.
that was fun.
That was a great time. That was the first time we did an Oceania through Michigan State. It was very well organized. The ship was great. The service. I highly recommend Oceania. They're a great cruise line.
Yes, and
So
actually you're on this ship, the Allura, it was just
yeah,
christened last November. I was
right.
on it, not during the christening, but I was on the ship last November, and it is gorgeous. It's just beautiful. It's kind of an Art Deco feel to it. It's
Yeah,
just beautiful. So I think you'll enjoy
sounds
it.
great.
We're looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, good, good. All right. Okay, I see. Is it Diana and Ronald or just Ronald?
He needs to unmute.
Yeah, I think he's looking for it. Sometimes it's hard to see. Okay, we'll come back to you once you figure that out. Okay, and then we have
Hello.
Elizabeth. Oh, there you are. Good.
Yeah, hi. Yeah, Diana had to go to an appointment, and so we no longer live in East Lansing, but we lived there for 30 years.
Oh,
And
good.
Diana is a graduate and worked at Michigan State. I taught there for 2 years when I first got there, and then I worked for the state of Michigan Health Department for a while. So we've never been on a cruise before, so we're really looking forward to it.
Oh,
Hmm.
okay, good. I think you'll enjoy it. Yeah, the food is fantastic on board the ships. The accommodations, the beds are so comfortable. I think hopefully you'll like those because I always sleep really well when I'm on board because of the comfort. So, okay, and then we have Elizabeth and Mike. Is it Elizabeth and Mike?
And no, it's Bill.
Bill.
Just
Oh,
play.
sorry. There's two Elizabeths. Sorry.
We could take Mike too, but yeah, I'm Liz Dosh. I graduated in School of Social Work. I didn't do social work, but I did go to graduate school in social work and met Bill at University of Michigan. I'm really sorry, but
Oh,
we had
wow.
a great life, almost
You
60
poor thing.
years. So we were having dinner last night and he told the friends that he says it's common at Michigan to call Michigan State Moo U. I hadn't heard that in so long, but hopefully he'll be quiet on this trip. But we have loved going on. I think this is our third trip with Michigan State, and the Oceana cruises are fantastic. And I did do personnel work. I worked in a development office of a school and have done a lot of volunteer fundraising things. So I'm looking forward to it and meeting all of you.
Wonderful. Great.
Thank you.
And then we have Karen.
Oh, my name is Karen Gilmore, and I graduated from Michigan State in 1969. And I've had a varied career. I got my master's and doctorate from Ohio State, and I married an attorney who graduated from University of Michigan Law School. So we're a very divided family. My oldest son, Paul, who's coming on the trip with me, is 34 and attended Michigan State for 2.5 years and then transferred to Ohio State. And then his twin brothers are also coming with me, and they're 30, Adam and Connor. And this is part of my husband died, unfortunately, unexpectedly 19 years ago when the children were very young. So my husband and I had planned to raise children of the world who understood the customs and practices of people from all different cultures. And so now we've been, I think, at least to 25 countries together, but I have been to 70 countries because my husband, when he died, was vice president of NATO, and the next month he would have been president of NATO because he was a US congressman for 20 years. So we traveled all over the world. And as you all know, travel is just so enriching and invigorating and fun, and you get to know the best people. So we're looking forward to getting to know all of you.
Wonderful.
Thank you
very much. Okay, and then we have, is it Mike and Betty?
Yes, I finally got unmuted. I'm Elizabeth, but go by Betty. And
I'm Mike. I was a faculty member at Michigan State. I came in 1969 until 73 or 74. I was director of the School of Labor and Industrial Relations and a faculty member there. And what a wonderful place Michigan State is. I also taught at University of Michigan and also worked for Ford Motor Company.
Oh, wonderful. Great.
We've been on the Allura before, and it's spectacular. And we've been on 4 or 5 other Oceana cruises and are very pleased that Go Next picked Oceana. Always sensational food and everything works.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Great.
and I liked what Karen said about the how it's wonderful to travel, seeing the world and seeing wonderful people all over the world. We're very much looking forward to this.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much. Wonderful. Okay, all right. I guess I'll have Deanna say some closing words, and she will, I'm sure she is excited to be traveling with you, and I think you're going to enjoy her. She's a wonderful person. So,
Oh, thanks, Regina. I am excited to meet all of you in person. We're going to have a great time together. I hope, like I said, let's connect early so that I can get everybody's names and faces put together as much as possible before we set sail. Anyway, everybody get there with no worries, and we'll have a great time. Okay.
Lovely.
Thank you, Deanna. Okay, and
Thanks.
Emily, thank you once again for all the wonderful information. If you do have questions, feel free to reach out to us and either myself or Go Next. And I think Emily gave you that phone number, and I'll also send you an email with the link for this recording, and it will include that information as well. So I wish you a wonderful time, safe travels, and go green.
Go green.
Go white.
Thank you.
Bye now.
Thank you.
Bye.
Take care.
you.
You.
Nice to meet you.
You too.
Bye-bye. Thanks.